Hello everyone, I'm here today to introduce to you my new IELTS writing course, which is based on my new book here. This writing course, the aim of this writing course is to help you to get a score at 7 or above. Okay, so it's very important that you try to take this course if you want to get a high score. Okay, so I just want to introduce the course to you, and I want to start by introducing myself. Okay, my name is Quentin, and I'm from the UK. Okay, I am not American, I am British. Okay, let me tell you a bit about my background. My major, I graduated with a humanities with literature. Okay, humanities means things like art, history, music, philosophy and literature. So that was my major, and I got my certificate in TEFL. Do you know TEFL? TEFL means teaching English as a foreign language to adults. Okay, let me do that again. Teaching English as a foreign language to adults. So I got my certificate in 1990, and I got my high-level diploma in teaching English in 1994. So you can see I've been teaching English for more than 30 years, a very long time. I arrived in Taiwan in 1998, so I've been in Taiwan for 24 years. Also a very long time. I studied Chinese when I first came to Taiwan. I studied Chinese at Danjiang Daxue. And I formerly, before I worked here, I worked for the British Council. Maybe you know the British Council. I worked there for a while. Okay, and my hobbies and interests and my languages, I can speak French and German and Chinese. And my hobbies and interests are playing the piano, swimming, reading, and studying Chinese. So that's a little bit about me. Okay, now I'd like to tell you a little bit more about the writing course. Okay, now in the IELTS writing course you have two tasks, task 1 and task 2. Okay, now I just want to begin by telling you about what you need to do for task 1 and the things that I will cover on the course, the things that I will talk about on the course. First, how to analyze the information and how to organize your answer. In task 1 of the IELTS test, they will give you a diagram or a map or a table or some kind of graph, and you have to describe the graph. You have to describe what you see. So we call this technical writing, right? They're testing your ability to describe graphs and tables. So I will teach you first how to analyze the information and how to organize your answer. Then I will teach you how to write the first sentence. Now the first sentence is very difficult because you must not copy the title. So you need to reword the title in your own words. So I will show you how to write the first sentence for task 1. It's a little bit tricky, and you need to learn certain tricks and certain language that you can use. Okay, then I will be teaching you how to write about movement in graphs. Now what do I mean by movement? So here we have a graph, and here we have a movement. So I will teach you how to describe these kind of movements in graphs. Then we will also learn how to write about comparison, how to compare two different things. So let's say, for example, you have a table like this, and you need to compare these two things. You'll need to use the language of comparison to do this. So I will teach you the language of comparison. Then I will also teach you how to write about diagrams and maps. You might get a diagram that you need to describe, or you might get a map. And this also, you need special language, special grammar, and special vocabulary for this. So I will teach you this. And then finally, we're also going to learn how to write about processes. One of the things you might have to do in task 1 is to write about a process. They will give you a diagram of a process, and you will need to describe the process. And again, you need special language for this, special grammar and special vocabulary for writing about processes. So this is what I will be teaching you in task 1. Now, task 1 we call technical writing. Here they are only testing your ability to describe graphs and tables. But in task 2, it's a little bit different. In task 2, they want you to express your opinion about something and to write an argument, opinion essay, or a problem and solution essay. And here you will need to express your opinion and to present your ideas about the topic. So I will first teach you how to analyze the title and how to plan your answer. And planning your answer is very, very important. You must not write the essay unless you plan first. So I will be teaching you how to plan your ideas and how to organize your ideas. Then we'll learn how to write the introduction to your essay. The introduction is a little bit special and a little bit tricky. You need to learn certain grammar and certain vocabulary for the introduction. So I will teach you this as well. Then we will look at the grammar that you will need for adding, illustrating, and contrasting. This means how to add ideas in your paragraph, how to give specific examples and details, and how to contrast or give the opposite point of view. Then we will also look at the language for reason and result, for writing about the reason for a problem and the result of a solution. We will also look at different modal verbs, how to write conditions and consequences. So conditions is sentences which begin with if. If I do this, this will happen. These kind of sentences, they are a little bit tricky, and you need to learn how to use these kind of sentences. We're also going to learn how to use verb tenses correctly, also very, very important, and how to make your writing more complex. If you can write complex sentences, this will also give you a higher score in the test. And then I will show you how to write a conclusion. Okay, now what are the special features of the course? The special features in every lesson that you will get sample answers that you can study. There will be a lot of language banks. Okay, language banks are tables with lots of grammar and good vocabulary that you can use in your writing. You will also have some guided practice, okay, all from the book, and you will get feedback on your guided practice. One of the most important things is common errors. We will have a look at some of the most common mistakes that people make with the grammar and the vocabulary, and I will teach you how to avoid these common mistakes. Also, we will be looking at thinking and language. So not only am I going to teach you the grammar and the vocabulary that you need for your writing, but I will also teach you about the correct way to think, how to think in English, how to use Western thinking or Western logic. This is also very important in the IELTS writing, especially in Task 2. So I will be teaching you how to use the language and also how to think like a Westerner for the IELTS test. And we will be using my new book, so you will also get a new book as part of the course. Okay, now here is the syllabus, and you can see here we have 8 lessons. The first 4 lessons will be about Task 1. In the first lesson, we will focus on the introduction, how to analyze the graph, writing the first sentence, and we'll do a little bit of grammar about noun phrases and verb phrases. In the second lesson, we'll be focusing on movement, how to write about this kind of movement. Okay, in the third lesson, we'll be looking at the language of comparison, and I will teach you the language that you can use to compare things like this, writing about differences and writing about similarities. And in the last lesson, we will be looking at the language that you need to use to write about maps and processes. So that's the outline for the first 4 lessons, focusing on task 1. On task 2, we have also another 4 lessons. The first lesson, we will be focusing on how to write the introduction, how to analyze the title, and how to organize your thinking and how to plan your answer in the first lesson. In the second lesson, we'll be looking at how to write an introduction and how to write a conclusion. And then in lesson 3 and 4, we'll be focusing on how to write a paragraph, how to organize the information in a paragraph, how to add, illustrate, and contrast, and also how to use verb tenses correctly. In this lesson, lesson 3, we will be focusing on an argument opinion essay. And in lesson 4, we'll be focusing on a problem-solution essay, and we'll be looking at the language that you can use to write about reason and result and conditionals. Okay, so this is the outline of the 4 lessons for the writing task. Okay, that is my introduction to the class. I hope very much that you will join us and learn more about how to do the IELTS writing. I look forward very much to see you.